Congratulations on doing your due diligence and scouring every square inch of YouTube for videos on your favorite stock. Somehow that's led you all the way to me and my 41 subscriber channel. So I wanted to give you a big thumbs up for doing everything in your power to make sure you know all the information available on your favorite stock. Now, if you can do yourself a favor and hit the subscribe button, I'll save you a lot of time next time when you're looking for information. And if you can do me a favor, hit the like button so that way I can congratulate other members out there for doing their due diligence. Now let's get started. So as you guys know, I'm an absolute huge fan of Palantir, and Palantir was great news, I think, yesterday. I just kind of wanted to go over it. I almost wanted to make a video yesterday to tell everybody about it and kind of explain my thoughts about it. Well, as you might have known, they invested into an air taxi startup, Lilium, through a PIPE investment into their SPAC merger. I think it's Quell, Q-E-L-L Acquisition Corp. It's a $3.3 billion deal. So it's a relatively large deal. Now, what they're doing is they're creating air taxis, of course, ideally be able to transport people all over cities, in and out, everything like that. And as you can imagine, these are going to be, ideally, there won't be a pilot. So they'll be unmanned, aerial taxis, kind of like Tesla's doing with the cars. Now, with that, there's a lot of information that gets transmitted from a Tesla. So every minute you're driving, it's picking up, millions of pieces of information from its radar detectors and sensors that are on the vehicle, and it's relaying it to the computer who processes it all and then sends out information back out to the car on how to handle and steer and brake and everything like that. So as you can imagine, with the air taxi, it's probably going to be twice as much information. And now, in order for this thing to actually go global, on a huge scale here, where you could have thousands of them in a city transporting people, to and from work, to and from the airports, different places, they need to be able to communicate with each other. And I think, honestly, that's where Palantir is going to step in and assist with that. Relaying all the information from all the different aircrafts, combining it, analyzing it, making it make sense, and then transmitting it back out to all the other vehicles in the air. So that way they're communicating with each other while they're flying. It's kind of a cool little thing there. And also, it doesn't hurt Palantir any if this company makes a ton of money. Of course, Palantir's value goes up in the long run as well. Based on the news today, we had a pretty nice little run up all the way from yesterday and continued up. Now, one of the biggest things here is I think we did break the long-standing downward trend we've been on. Let me go back to the 1 hour chart here. We've been on this downward trend for a while now, and we finally kind of poked our little head out of it and kind of started over. So that means we broke that downward trend that we've been following for a long time here, and we're off to something new. Now, when I got into this and started looking at stuff, let me pull over my other account here, kind of show you. I need to start going live, honestly. I enjoy just talking and having a conversation more, but I'm trying to edit it a little bit to keep it, informative for YouTube and making these videos here. Let me close out some of my stuff here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so pull this guy back over here for you. Let's go. I just kind of want to show you. I was looking up cons earlier. They had a huge run up. We'll talk about those guys here in a second. Some of the top winners for the day. But with Palantir, looking at all the call options and everything like that, I have a lot of positions. Don't judge me. I'm extremely aggressive with Palantir, and I should have sold a lot of these off. I didn't. But either way, you look at the amount of calls that have been sold, 22,000, 7,000, 12,000, 27,000. The way I was looking at it is if we end up selling or getting above 25 tomorrow, which is definitely in the realm of possible. If we finish over 25, how much is that right now? There's 9,033,000 call options that would be exercised. So that means on Monday or, after hours, before hours, they're going to have to pick up 9 million shares to fill all those orders. That's definitely enough to cause a squeeze and take this stock to new heights. And I kind of excited about that. Of course, I love Palantir, so I might be a little biased there. But I think this turnaround right here is a great opportunity for us. And I think we will probably see 40 again pretty soon. I actually think we'll hit 40 tomorrow, give or take, $18 or something like that. But we should be there pretty soon, I think. Now, some of the big runners today, Wafu, as you guys may know, WAFU. It had a nice little run up. It looks like on the 25th, ran all the way up to about 1558, and then it kind of trickled down over the last week or so, and then today it had another nice run up again. Not a lot of information out there or anything like that. It's just one of the Chinese stocks that everybody's watching and kind of investing in. But it definitely was a nice little run up today, all the way from 860 to 14. So almost a 50% gain, I think, on the day there, or 136% gain in the last 5 days. That's pretty insane right there. As you guys know, MVIS, I know a lot of you follow this, a lot of you are tracking it. It had a huge run up as well from 1364, all the way up to here. Where were we at? Almost 19. But theirs is based on this deal here with Microsoft, $22 billion deal that Microsoft's getting, and they're currently using microvision for some of their chips and stuff like that. So it's kind of a sympathy play off of Microsoft's deal for microvision, because microvision, if you look at their last year's earnings, they haven't really earned anything. They're kind of a new startup still with a lot of advanced technology. So once they start earning stuff, the stock is expected to skyrocket anyway. So I think we're just seeing the first of that, because once they start showing a profit, making a profit, they will continue to go up. Next, I kind of wanted to go over is Cons had earnings. They kind of blew it out of the water. Actually, one of the reasons I had it up there for you, or I was looking at on my TD trade. Most of the time I trade on TD, I try to use Webull to show charting and stuff like that for you guys, because I know a lot of you use it personally yourself. I like either one. I actually really like Webull's charting software. It's actually really nice and easy to maintain and everything like that. But I've been using TD for so long, it's hard to break those old habits, I guess. But anyway, with Cons, let me see what it was today. Earnings per share ended up being 91 cents, and the estimate was only 23 cents. So literally they 4x'd the expectations on their earnings per share. So they definitely skyrocketed. So even with the pandemic and everything like that going on, people are still upgrading their homes, they're still buying furniture, they're still doing all the things that we would normally do. And Cons is big on their pay plans. They do 0% interest, 18 months, 0% for 36 months. I actually bought my dryer and I think my couch from there, and it was both of those things. It was like 0% for 18 months or something like that. So it's a pretty simple deal. I think they do sell like a year or two older stuff, not the brand newest stuff to the market, but they do offer the financing and stuff, which is a big, huge plus for a lot of people out there. Anyways, they crushed it and they're going up. Another one I wanted to put out there on the watch list is Big Commerce Holdings. I don't know if any of you guys follow it, but it IPO'd back in August of last year for about $79. It had a nice little run up all the way up to $130, and then it's kind of just trickled back down, trickled back down, trickled back down. I actually bought into it, I want to say about $65 at some point in time here, just because I couldn't expect it to go any lower. After I bought in, it ran back up to like 79, 80, and I ended up selling it there. And then of course it came back down with this little bit of push down we've received in the market. It's all the way at 54 bucks. So right now you can jump in for about, what is that? 70, 60, almost $30 cheaper than it IPO'd for, actually a little more than $30 than what it IPO'd for. So I think that's a great opportunity, definitely a big investment. If any big news comes out on this guy, it'll end up being right back at $100. So a pretty quick and easy way to double your money if the market agrees with us and moves with us. But definitely I would add it to your watch list as something to keep an eye on. It also has very high premiums for my covered call sellers out there. It does make you money, and that's what I'm looking at it for, as more of a covered call strategy. Once all those Palantir calls I bought print, you guys will thoroughly be impressed, because I will probably take that money and I'm going to invest it into some Tesla stocks and start selling covered calls on that. That's kind of my goal with the current holdings I have. But anyways, there's a ton of stuff going on in the market, and I appreciate your time. I'm glad you guys found me. If you can, like I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you have any questions, anything like that, leave it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer it. And while you're at it, let me know, what's the #1 stock you're watching this next week? Not this week, next week. What's the #1 stock you're going to watch? Let me know. I appreciate it, you guys.